Something unusual has been happening at North Korea's most sensitive military events. During several of the country's most important missile tests, the cameras did not focus only on generals, scientists, or launch crews. Instead, standing beside the missiles was a young girl. That girl is Kim Jong-il, the daughter of Kim Jong-un. In one image, she stands in front of a massive intercontinental ballistic missile. In another, she walks among North Korea's most powerful generals. And suddenly analysts across Washington, Seoul, and Tokyo began asking the same question. Why would a dictator bring his young daughter to one of the most secretive nuclear weapons programs on Earth? Because in North Korea, nothing you see is accidental. And this small detail might reveal something much bigger about the future of the regime. Before we break this down, if you're new here, or if you enjoy serious geopolitical analysis like this, consider liking the video and subscribing. Because by the end of this video, we're going to piece together several clues. And when you see them all together, a very interesting and potentially unsettling picture begins to emerge. Part 1: Why this is so unusual. North Korea is one of the most secretive political systems in the world. Public appearances are carefully choreographed. Every photograph released by state media is designed to send a message. That's why analysts were immediately surprised when Kim Jong-un began bringing his daughter to military events. Not just any events, but missile launches. These launches are some of the most sensitive operations in the entire country. They involve the development of intercontinental ballistic missiles weapons designed to potentially reach the United States. Normally, these events are attended by senior military commanders, nuclear scientists, top political elites. But now, in multiple images released by North Korean state media, we see Kim Jong-il standing right in the center of these moments. Sometimes holding her father's hand, sometimes walking in front of the missile itself, which raises an important question. Why introduce a child into one of the most militarized environments on Earth? Part 2: The Kim Dynasty. To understand this, we need to understand how power works in North Korea. North Korea is not just a communist state. It is something much closer to a dynastic system. The country has been ruled by the same family for more than 70 years. It began with Kim Il-sung, who founded the regime after World War II. When he died in 1994, power passed to his son, Kim Jong-il. And when Kim Jong-il died in 2011, the leadership moved to his son, Kim Jong-un. 3 generations of the same family. In many ways, North Korea operates less like a communist republic, and more like a hereditary monarchy with nuclear weapons. This is important, because in systems like this, legitimacy does not come from elections. It comes from bloodline, and maintaining that bloodline is one of the regime's most important priorities. Part 3: The military audience. But bloodline alone is not enough. There is another group whose approval matters deeply: the military. The Korean People's Army is one of the largest standing militaries in the world, and inside North Korea's political system, it plays a central role in maintaining regime stability. When Kim Jong-un took power in 2011, many analysts believed he might struggle to gain control. After all, he was young, relatively unknown, and suddenly responsible for commanding generals who had served under his father and grandfather. So what did he do? He appeared frequently with the military. He oversaw weapons tests. He demonstrated authority over the nuclear program. In other words, he built legitimacy through strength. Now consider what happens when he brings his daughter into that environment. When Kim Jong-il walks beside him during missile launches, the audience is not just the public. It is also the military leadership watching closely. Part 4: A signal to the elite. In authoritarian systems, leadership transitions are one of the most dangerous moments. If the succession is unclear, elites may compete for power. Military factions may emerge. Instability can spread. North Korea's leadership understands this very well. The collapse of a dictatorship often begins with uncertainty at the top, which is why some analysts believe these appearances could serve a strategic purpose. By showing his daughter publicly alongside strategic weapons, Kim Jong-un may be doing something very deliberate. He may be introducing the next generation of the Kim dynasty. Not officially, not directly, but symbolically. Over time, repeated appearances create familiarity. The elites see her. The military sees her. The population sees her. And slowly, the idea of another Kim ruling the country becomes normalized. Part 5. This interpretation is not universally accepted. Some experts believe these appearances may serve a different purpose. They may simply be propaganda. Authoritarian leaders often attempt to soften their image by appearing with family members. Showing Kim Jong-un as a father could humanize him to the domestic population. Another theory is that it reinforces the idea of the Kim family as the eternal center of the nation. In North Korean propaganda, the ruling family is portrayed almost as a sacred bloodline, a living symbol of the state itself. By placing his daughter near the country's most powerful weapons, the regime may be visually connecting the future of the dynasty with the future of the nuclear program. But even if that's the case, the symbolism remains powerful. Because symbolism is the language of authoritarian politics. The real puzzle. Now let's step back and look at the bigger picture. We have a leader who controls one of the world's fastest-growing nuclear arsenals. A regime built around dynastic rule. And a series of carefully staged appearances placing a young daughter at the center of strategic weapons events. No official announcement has been made. No successor has been declared. But the images themselves send a signal. In a system where every detail is controlled, even a child standing next to a missile may carry meaning. So the real question is not simply why she is there. The real question is what message is being sent to those watching. The generals, the party elites, and the outside world. Because if these appearances truly are the early stages of succession planning, then the world may already be seeing the first glimpses of the fourth generation of the Kim dynasty. And in a country armed with nuclear weapons, that possibility matters far beyond North Korea's borders. If you found this analysis useful, consider subscribing for more deep dives into global power and strategy. Because sometimes the smallest details in world politics can reveal the biggest shifts in the future.